Welcome to another video on the I Love to Explore Oregon channel. Normally I do videos about hikes and places in Oregon and stuff like that, but I got the opportunity to film this bald-faced hornet nest. It was actually attached to the Four Horsemen Hotel, an abandoned hotel in Prineville, Oregon, kind of like a possibly haunted ghost structure. And so I have another video all about that. But I thought since I got this opportunity to really film this bald-faced hornet's nest for a while, I would do a video just on the bald-faced hornet. This nest, as I said, it was attached to this old abandoned building, and they really weren't bothering anybody where they were. We actually explored the old abandoned building for quite some time without even knowing that this nest was there. I think that at times we were probably maybe 10 to 12 feet from this nest. I remember when we were walking around in the abandoned structure that we saw them flying around from time to time, but they didn't seem to bother us. So I want to make a note in here that although these things normally have a pretty bad reputation, they didn't bother us and we didn't bother them. And I was making this particular film where I'm zooming way in on the nest with a Nikon P1000, so a camera with a pretty powerful zoom lens, and so I was able to get right up close to them, even though at this point I'm probably about 30 feet away as the bald-faced hornet flies. And so on that note, I want to just take a moment to say that these creatures need to be respected. I think if you bothered them, they would sting you, and in fact, many of the articles I read said that they would sting you and keep on stinging you repeatedly, and even some of the articles said that they have the ability to squirt or spray venom from their stingers, and that they could spray it in your eyes and irritate your eyes and make your eyes water and burn, or they could sting you repeatedly, and I think if you get stung by enough of them, you could possibly die. So I wouldn't recommend bothering them or making them mad or purposely going near the nest. But I would also say that there's no point in seeking out and destroying them or teasing them or something like that. Just because they're there, if they're not bothering you, I don't think you should bother them. And I just want to take a moment again to say that we were walking around in the building, feet from the nests without even knowing it, and they didn't sting us, and they didn't attack us. And so, with that, in that note, let's go ahead and learn some things about the bald-faced hornet. So the bald-faced hornet is about 19 millimeters in length, or 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch long. You can see that they have these distinctive markings. As you can see here, as they're crawling around in this nest, they are mostly black with these white or really light yellowish markings on their face, on the top of their head, and on their thorax, and then way back at the back of their abdomen. And that is the characteristics that give them their name as bald-faced hornets. And strangely enough, they're not actually hornets, but they are wasps, and they are more of a species of yellow jacket. Their colonies can contain 400 to 700 workers, and the largest colonies build these characteristics large paper nests up to 58 centimeters or 23 inches in length. So imagine this paper nest here being 2 feet long or like half a meter long. This one was probably actually at least more than a foot long. It was a pretty big nest. They can be found throughout the United States, southern Canada, but it's most common in the southeastern United States. This one was found in Prineville, Oregon. They are omnivorous, meaning they will eat just about anything. They are beneficial due to their predation of flies, caterpillars, and spiders. Here we are reading directly from Wikipedia on the colony cycle. The life cycle of a colony can be divided into the founding stage, the ergonomic stage, and the reproductive stage. Colonies showing annual cycling. New nests are generally founded during the spring and early summer by a single queen, though temporal species vary depending on location. In Washington, nests initialization occurs during mid-May, and workers emerge during mid-June. Large cell building starts during mid-July, and first the queen emerges during mid-August. The colony terminates during mid-September, for a life cycle of 4 months, 122 days. Lower latitudes correlate with a longer life cycle. In Indiana, colonies have been observed to begin in early May and terminate in September, a life cycle of 5 months. All right, well, there we go. That's some information about the bald-faced hornet and hopefully some great views of their nest here. And I hope that you've learned a lot from this video. And again, just I want to talk about respecting these creatures. There's no need to bother them or destroy them if they're not bothering you. If you find a nest out in the wild, just leave it alone. Or if you can get the opportunity to safely, from a distance like this, with a very powerful zoom camera, to take some pictures of them, and then carefully go ahead and take some pictures of them. I'd like to see your pictures. And thanks for watching this video, and subscribe for more things you can find here in Oregon.